responsibility of the people of South Sudan for about 10 years. Madam Deborah Schein, before she came to board, she worked in Malakal as UNMISS head of office there. And then she came in 2014, where she started working here for you, for all of us, for peace and 2016, for peace and security. On the 10th of this month, there was a forward party like this, also organized by UNMISS National Staff Association, big one. Before that, there was another one organized at Bor Airport by the director of Bor Airport, massive. It was also a very big one. And we were also at Malwacha to go and say bye-bye to our commander, the deputy commander of Mechanized Division 10, and the contingents. Today we are doing another forward party here. The civil societies are also planning to have a forward party tomorrow. The government is also organizing another forward party. You can see how many forward parties will be done in the name of Deborah Schein. That means she's a very important person. The program will be brief. We are going to have a prayer. And then after prayer, I will have an association to say some few words. Our paramount chief, Sultan Malana UN, who will speak on behalf of all the chiefs in Jonglei State. From our Sector East Commander, Brigadier General Deborah, he is here with us. It's first time he comes to Quad Palace Hotel. Because of this forward party, call for him. Clap for him.
Head of your office and his brothers that have been made a very great dear father for this great young lady. They work hard. Let this father be together. Let your Holy Spirit be with us. Let everything be in peace and harmony. In Jesus' name we pray.
عشان هو العمل معنا كتير. العمل معنا كتير. ماما ديبورا أنا بروتوكول أوبزرف لأنه قلبي كبير على مشي بتاعه عشان كده أنا مدة أنا اتكلمت طوال.
She said, of course we say sorry and we understand that this is her own decision to go and rest for some time after serving the people of South Sudan.
نحن نسوان كلنا فرحانين جدا لأن ماما ديبورا ببسط نفسه ما ببقي نفسه زي زول متعلم كبير.
We as women in Jonglei State, we are very happy with Madam Deborah because she is a humble person. Although she holds a very senior position in UNMISS or UN in general, but she is so humble and she always interacts with women.
ماما ديبورا علمنا حاجات كتير.
Said we learned a lot of things from Mama Deborah.
ماما ديبورا علمنا ما هو peacekeeping بتاع UN.
One of the things we learned from Mama Deborah is actually the mandate of UNMISS here in South Sudan, what is the duties and functions expected from UNMISS here.
ماما ديبورا علمنا ده شنو اسمه 1325 in UN. 1325 علمنا what is the role of the child, role of the women and your role in the office. وكيف انت لما تكون مع الناس تتكلم كيف وكيف انت لما تكون في community كيف بتخاطب الناس.
Other thing also we learned from
نحن فرحانين منه شديد لأنه الناس بتاعنا في POC عندهم 7 سنة ماشي ل8 سنة وهو حاول يدافع عنهم يأكلهم ويشربهم وحتى سلام يعني.
The other thing also we are very proud and very happy with Mama Deborah is the assistance she keep providing to our people in the POC. Now for 7 or 8 years, she has been helping a lot. She provided all the kind of humanitarian assistance they need there, and that one is appreciated.
جمهورية ستيت برضو علمنا نعمل عملنا حاجة اسمه cooperative جروب بتاع POC الجروب بتاع Women Association هما كاتفوا سوا ونحن هسه شغالين مع بحاجة اسمه 35%.
The other thing also, she encouraged the cooperation between the women group in the POC, the former POC, now IDP camp, and the women in the Bo town. She helped a lot. She tried to build actually the kind of cooperation needed with the two groups.
كمان الاثنين جروب ديل علمونا بيشيلونا من سنتر وودونا تقل عشان يعلمونا كيف انت ممكن تعرف ترامى هو شنو human right هو شنو تعرف كيف انت تدافع عن الحق بتاعك.
The other thing also
من بيبور يعني بيبور هنا برجعهم هناك.
The other thing also Mama Deborah helped with is the issue of reunification with of the children, the abducted children with their families. She also helped in that regard, and we are very proud.
وده حاجة يعني عمل مسؤولية بتاع سلام وقدر يحفظ بور بصورة كويس مع إنه في ظروف وفي حالات صعبة لكن حاول يساعدنا.
Despite all the challenges and all the problems she faced in her time with us here, but she managed to actually do her best to maintain peace and reconciliation among the communities of Greater Jonglei.
بنشكر كله UN Head Office كله بنشكرهم وإن شاء الله ربنا يساعد مع دبورة ويمشي بالسلامة ونحن نفضل بسلام ونتذكر كل يوم
Wow.
Mama Deborah, kujorai dari puan suakan mai, jadi dia pilih apa? Kujorai puan, kenapa puan kasih politik dia berarti wajah mau dari apa ini?
Greetings. Hello. Greetings to Deborah Schein, all visitor of office, our former governors, all our general, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. He has two messages. First is an appreciation to Deborah Schein and a message that she will deliver to the person who will be acting on her behalf. A lot was said by the representative of the Women Association, and it's our conviction that if she was someone from the state government here, we would have not allowed her to go. We would say no because she is a peacemaker. She works for peace across Greater Jonglei. And not just in Greater Jonglei, she also attends these conferences between Payams. For example, between Anyidi and Mopach, Payams of Bo County. That may God bless you, and everywhere you go, may the blessing of the Almighty be always upon you. and the message that he wants you to go and deliver to the person who will be in charge when you're gone.
Cha pinga no mi wa ana da ke cha tare ya da bor la di bor ba loy kana la cha ni ne cha da ke fan yo.
That he learned that the road between Bor and Pibor will be reconstructed by UNMISS. He is saying thank you so much for that. And if there is an area that you want the soil to be dug from, he will help as a paramount. But in our culture as the South Sudanese, if you live next to someone who can help you all the time, you're always happy because you always have support that's next to you. Previously, there was a complaint from my people when a kid is about to go for a call and accidentally it happens, people cannot be disappointed.
Good afternoon. Mama Deborah, my former boss, Honorable Deborah, Honorable David Yao, our acting Secretary General, our people in uniform, both UN and South Sudan, our chief, our guests who are invited for this important occasion this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, good afternoon. It is with a great pleasure to be this occasion. In fact, I will only add my voice to our dear lady. The word she said, she was not happy. And I will say to myself too, I'm not happy. Because when you look at dear mom, dear sister, who have put her whole work to save the life of this community, I think she has done more than what the son and daughter of this community could do. But word cannot not express everything. All we ask is our prayer for you, Deborah, to live. And also, we ask God that your heart always be back to Jonglei State and also South Sudan in general. In fact, when I came to know Mama Deborah, that was the time when I took a job as a deputy governor of the former defunct Lakoni State. At that time, I was in the same situation where these people of Jonglei were. In fact, our situation was totally different. We were at Akuma, but we never been in our area due to the crisis. In that sense, according to the UN system, the people of South Sudan decided that they create more state, but at the UN level, they were not. She was able to send the civil affairs officers to my area. Whenever I introduce myself, I'm an authority here, I'm a deputy governor, but always the UN will say, we are here to visit Akova County. For most people, are not feeling well at that, but we understood. I don't know exactly what you meant by then, but again, I think based on your experience, based on your heart, this country must be together as it was formed. Thank you so much. Now, we are back as the people of Jonglei, and Akobo remain as Akobo County. Thank you. With that, not long ago, 3 months ago, it was my first time to escort our brother, our governor, Honorable Denied, when he was appointed. Then this state, the capital, was in a situation where the blood had to take over. So he wanted himself to visit, but as a government, he could not do it because of the work of Deborah. His visit was made it even more than what we were affected. Then when we came, it was a rainy day. Ourselves, we were not informed. And then we came as a suffrage. But Deborah stood with us. Immediately, in a few minutes, she coordinated in our effort so that we crossed that river. And I have that video. So that one, it will not be away in our heart. So you have done it to the level that we have no doubt. The UN is with here to help us. But for you, you step up with a coordination. That man sitting there, Mamir, you have two hearts. You have a heart of UN, you have a heart of South Sudan. With his help, making things understand so that working with you is very plus to us. Thank you, Mamir. When we call at night, we get response in the reality. But sometimes we fight because with the government, when we need it, we need it in a minute, we need it. But the UN says, no, wait a minute, we have to go to New York first. But sometimes we break those rules. Thank you on that. Definitely a great class. Another thing, in my belief, I will not say I'm really sad enough. Why we are here today as a South Sudanese, as a country, it has its story. And that story comes from the First War, in which United States of America did have a lot for this country to be the country of today. When we hear that we are going back to New York, definitely this is a continuation. And I hope a person like you, not only South Sudanese know your work, even the government of America know what you're doing here. And it is my prayer, as soon you reach America, please don't hesitate to go to Mama Harris. Now there is a change. The change that American dream always is to build up. What was done by the first administration of President Donald Trump was great. And also, the new administration of Biden will be the greater one. And I hope you will be part of it. Inshallah. Yes. Secondly, on your side, when you go to America, I want you to go to Utah, to Salt Lake City. Visit South Sudanese community there, and we will do our part. When you visit them, why we are success today is because of them. I mentioned Salt Lake City because this is where my residence is. But other places are wonderful. You should be able to continue acquaint yourself with the South Sudanese culture. And also, if they need any help, please don't hesitate, do the same thing. With that on your part, definitely I cannot say thank you enough, but God will be with you. On the other side, part of my two former books, for the last 3 days, I was called by governor that we have very two important people who are coming to our state. But I could not be able to come. But please talk to our Secretary General who represent the government. Please receive two gentlemen and let them feel home. They may not be in the position of form as a governor, but somehow in our country they become elders. In which, in reality, they have not left us. They are the library of this country. We can recall what Yao did when he was a governor, and you can recall what Kulibabu did when he was a governor. In some places, sometimes, especially in our situation with the South Sudanese, when you are out of the job, then they forget about you. But I believe the state of Jonglei will not be in that position. Not only Filibabar, not only David Yao of Greater Jonglei, even the others who have not made it today to this event, they work with Deborah and they contribute a lot. If Deborah could be happy today, it's because of them. The access they granted to Deborah to visit. So this is great. For us, Deborah, we will not leave these two gentlemen. They will be with us when we need them, and when they need us, we will be with them. For their effort to come and leave their activity to come and join this, definitely it is their feeling, it is our feeling, so that they join the farewell party. And also, it will not be it. This is the beginning for them to participate in helping this community to grow. I say a lot, but again, thank you so much, and hopefully God will guide you on your way, and we shall meet. Either way around, we'll meet. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Attending most of our events here, as mentioned by Governor Philip, at the airport. It could be funeral, it could be wedding. She attended my wedding actually on the 9th of December 2018. Big wedding, it was very big because of her. I was also expecting Governor Philip, but he was taken away by President Kiir. And you know, he's the most powerful, so he was taken away to Juba, Lebanon. Thank you so much for those remarks. Our wishes as national staff were if Deborah could come back as U.S. ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan. And that is possible.
Of course, for us to have peace, we need also good roads so that people actually use them for peace. And now the project that there is a road to be constructed from board to Bibor, that would be very helpful. And if that one also is done, we in the uniform will take rest, and we urge our two former governors also to support in that.
وده حاجة مهم زي رفيق رجوع الكلام لأنه وجودك في نيويورك الناس الجنوبيين أو السودان جنوب السودان ممكن يطلب بطريقة بتاع الشعب بتاعه ترجع سفير لنا هنا.
Of course, like Honorable Louis had said, we know that you are going home, you are going to New York. But of course, we, the people of South Sudan, we can even request the American government to bring you as an ambassador to this country. And we hope that will be possible.
أنا مبسوط أنا القائدات بتاعي الفاتح كله يتعاونوا مع دبرة. فأنا كمان أضيف صوت بتاعي إنه دبرة الدولة الجاي و Eastern Commander we will do the same, we will cooperate.
I appreciate the cooperation between those people who served in SSPDF volunteer here before, with the UNMISS head of field office and the sector east commander. And also I urge the upcoming head of field office to continue with the same cooperation. Also the sector east commander to continue with the same spirit of cooperation.
وانا ما بتكلم كثير بس ده اقول انه اللي انتم جيتوا هنا كلكم انا بسلمكم وبقول لكم انه سلام نحن الجيش نحن دايرينه لانه في ناس من 2013 ما شافوا اسر بتاعهم واذا في سلام الناس اللي بتمشي يشوفوا اسر بتاعهم فانا بناشد فوما جبنس جريدا بيبور وجريدا جمهوري انه يبداوا بسجن السليم عشان يعمل بقى عندهم هوم سيكنس دايرين يمشي يشوف يالو
of course
شكر بالمئات عشان تاني ترجعنا ما تمشي تنوم في بيتكم وتقول انا امريكاي شكرا.
Once again, sir.
I thought it was really rude to leave out the Commissioner of Police, but he has just. At this juncture, let me now welcome our representative of our governor, who is also the acting Secretary General of the Jonglei State Government. Welcome.
I don't know. I will work as Secretary General for the state, or I will remain in finance, or where, I don't know. So, thank you for the services of the UN. We were cooperating together, and even when I came to finance, they used to come to me. So, I'm not a stranger to the UN. I'm also your colleague. So, now, about what Deborah did or contributed is too great to mention here, towards peace, towards development. Even during the flooding, you see, we convinced her to construct a dike in Block 2 and Block 1. And sometimes maintenance of roads within the town of here. And this main dike, we will call primary dike along the river, it was first done by the UNMISS. They were the people who actually knew about this, but we didn't know that the flood would come in this way, in this big way. But they had a dream by then. And that dream actually, the whole town would have been flown with water, overflown with water. But the vision of the UN, especially UNMISS, when they constructed this dike, otherwise it would have been a big disaster. But the dike was made by UNMISS made a break, in fact. So thank you for the activities of UNMISS. Now, when you are going back, Mama Deborah, the message is that we are not warmongers, we are peacemakers. You have seen with these two people now, Deborah is here, Philip Aguirre is here. They have been governors of the respective states of Jonglei and Bibo. Now, they have come here because they are also peacemakers. They are peace initiators. That is why they are here with us. And you take the message that the people of Jonglei are peacemakers, and what they need now, at the time of peace, there is what they call revitalized peace agreement made among southerners because of differences. There was a civil war. Now we are going towards development. It was a relief period, but now we should be talking about development. So when you go and treat peace, that the people of South Sudan are peaceful, they need schools, they need hospitals, they need road to connect them at the time of peace. So this time, the message is that Southern Sudan needs development now, so that the unemployed youth come together and they contribute to a peace. So
now I have the honor to welcome General of Greater Jonglei, an activist and a peacemaker. Please.
And all the participants. Today is a great day for us to come together and protect the farewell of Madam Deborah Schein as she concludes our mission in Greater Jonglei. We were the partakers of Greater Jonglei mission that she did all along. The special honor that she has extended to us, Philip Aguera and me, to come all the way from Juba to participate in this friendly and beautiful city. I recognize the presence of the government of Jonglei State, the presence of all our government forces who are here, especially the senior officers who are in charge of the security unit in Greater Jonglei. I also recognize the presence of the officers of the women of Greater Jonglei, the presence of our youth, the officers of chiefs in Greater Jonglei, the media, and all the participants. Regarding the farewell of Madam Deborah Schein, and just to recall a few of what that she has done together with us, I wanted to say a workmanship or workmanship is a sign of effort mobilized to fill on gaps of issues that one may not be able to do without collective support from one's friends in different fields of duty. You know, our workmanship with Deborah Schein was an enjoyable one, especially as we, the team of the governors, who were in Greater Jonglei. Jonglei as the mother, Fangak, Bia, Akobo, and Boma State. We really enjoyed the services that we did together with Deborah Schein. And if it was not our wish, or if it was our wish, we couldn't allow her to go at this time. We know things are not easy. So after we left, and the devolution of the state took place, she little bit become lonely, and sincerely speaking. Because to do with a collective kind of duties, people always enjoy it when we do it collectively, when we do it together. But if the rest of the team members, you know, are no longer in the team, you wouldn't really be enjoying the services. So definitely, I think that was what's happened here in Greater Jonglei. Workmanship is always a good sign of working together to do the things. And of course, especially the minority communities, we have been living in a group. You find a group of 10 people, you find a group of 50 people, you find a group of many people are living together. This is our culture as the minority communities. And all these people, always, they are under the responsibility of few people. So we know the social kind of togetherness in Greater Jonglei or as a minority community better than maybe the others. That's why we always enjoy it most. So when we do things in the group, that's why we enjoy it most. You can see our cattle camps. So the way they are living, so they live in a big groups. This is a sign of togetherness at the Nilotic communities. And we do not always want to live or to see one of our members is missing in the gap. I just wanted to say this small story with Anyuak communities. So the Anyuak community did something very straight in terms of, togetherness. So whenever a certain communities loses a member, what they always did is they don't throw away the belonging of the late. So they will always reserve, this traditional kind of clavage for the eating. When it is time for eating, what they did, they will fill it with the food. And everybody is eating with his or her container or cup, whatever there. So at the end of the eating, and the one of late will remain. So upon seeing, the portion of the leg is remaining, so they definitely start crying. And it is always repeating itself off and on. Now you can see this kind of, laugh that some of our communities have. It's comparable to any other communities across the globe. Madam Deborah, we people of Greater Jonglei have not really any good words to express all the good things that you have done to us, especially we, the team of governors. I remember sometimes back when we came to Jonglei to do some visit, it was Philip Okwera and me, and some of the governors sometimes complain. They say, so Deborah Schein, you don't love Philip Okwera and Yahweh more than the others. There's a reason for that. Whenever we call for a facilitation, so we could just get a positive response in the following next hours or day. And we can just go. So whenever we are in need of anything or something for the operation of the fees, issues and all this, we just get it the way we want. And we have been facilitated even to the extent that we forgot the facilitation from the government. So we thought for us in Greater Jonglei, Deborah Schein was our total government. Because of the beautiful kind of, grouping of doing work together that we really have with that. And there are a lot of many other things. So that's why I say workmanship is a sign of effort mobilization. That one it encourages us sometimes to move to different places to facilitate these insecurity issues. So going to miss her, it is going to be a great loss, to people of Greater Jonglei and to us as the team members who are doing work together with her particularly. So however, what we will do is, the most important thing is, how are we going to survive as we live? That's the most important thing. So the most important thing is, did we learn, I'm up with that, the head of the women in Greater Jonglei says, we learn from a lot of things. I'm sure everybody learned from her a lot of things. But what do we do with those things that we learn from her is the main challenge. So the main mission of UN here to see that South Sudan implement peace issues. South Sudan gets to the extent of, developing itself from the way we are to the new stages. So I think these are the main two things that the world wanted us to have, so that we are also better off like the rest of the world. So with the issue of securities, we are the very people who created all this up of ourselves. So what do we do with these security issues? So we need to calm down the way we did. So we need to accept ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves. So we need to enjoy the good of our land that God has given to us. So we say a lot of things, a lot of resources that we have, especially here in Greater Jonglei. So imagine if we have kind of lasting peace that we can have. So how much more can we enjoy really the fish? So Greater Jonglei is the supplier of fish to Juba. So if you want to eat fresh fish from, in Juba, so you will get it from Jopali. So I think even the cows in the market now, it is a greater jungle that supply the Juba market with even the meat. We can engage with agriculture. We still can supply our country and many more things. So this will only come if we have lasting peace. This will only come if we unite ourselves. But if we still continue having a lot of conflict the way we have, now see, the whole population of Greater Jonglei have become IDPs in different places of the country. For how long are we going to be IDPs? Yesterday I said we are even become IDPs together with our cows. And to give a lot of hard time to the rest of the neighboring communities. So we are leaving a much of our lands to wild animals, to jackal, to forest, and all this. I'm sure the main reason why God created man and put in the middle of the garden, it was to keep and to till the land. Have we really kept our land properly? Did we really till our land the way God intended us to do? I think we destroyed it. So if we destroyed it, what happened? Yesterday I said the story of those tribes. You know, when Jacob have a dream. So God told him 400 years to come. So your descendant will come to this place. But now, the cups of Benjamin is not yet filled. So when that time comes, these communities who are living here in Canaan, the Perizzites, the Jebusite, the Evicite, and the rest, they will be wiped from this land. And definitely you are going to take over the land. And now see the Israelites. They enjoyed the land. It was others who lived here before. If you evacuate yourself and you leave yourself, you go to different places in the world. What do you think will happen in 50 years' time to come now? Those children who will be born in abroad, in Uganda, in Kenya, in Ethiopia. I'm sure when we came back in 2005, we still left refugees in Kabul up to now. We still left refugees in Uganda up to now. So we still left refugees in Ethiopia up to now. So imagine those kids who were born during the civil war, around 80s up to now. So they're grown-up people. Some of them even married, got married, they have children, and they have never seen something called South Sudan. So we have already lost big generations to the world. Now this area definitely is going to be a vacuum. It's going to be a home of wildlife. We are so embittered, having seen this situation that we are in. Colleagues, people of Greater Jonglei, let us abolish all this. Now what do we benefit from these massive killings that we are killing ourselves? I don't know. Which kind of enemy are we killing now? Are we really killing an enemy or we are just making suicide? I don't think we are killing any enemy. We are making suicide and we are leaving enemy just move successfully. The real enemy is illiteracy. So the real enemy is underdevelopment. The real enemy is hunger, that our people are starving to death. So if we really are wise enough and realize where is exactly our enemy, then we could abolish this killing of ourselves. We could abolish this kind of hatred that we have towards ourselves and accept ourselves to live in harmony. So these people, they came from US, they came from across the globe to contribute. But if we don't maximize and utilize their contribution and the effort that they want us to be, now we will be we will always remain the way we are. I don't know whom are we going to call again for our refuge and protection if we miss all these chances. Without much ado, I just wanted to say, Madam Deborah Schein, you know, even Jesus was with his disciples. And when time comes, so he blessed them and he went to heaven. He is Son of God. He cannot remain on earth forever. So there is always times you are told to do something, and at the end of the day, you will be left to do it. But it is upon you. You know those guys, when they were left, the mama allowed they don't know what to do in Jerusalem for 40 days. They don't know even where to go because they were fed whenever they are in need of food by Jesus. So the miracles were done before them, everything was done to them, and they were just relaxing. But see, when time comes for Jesus to go to heaven, they have to remain in Jerusalem for 40 days until the Holy Spirit has to descend again to put them in form of persecution and all the rest of the things. Now see, when they were persecuted and they go to different places, they open their eyes and they start preaching the word, which ended him now. The word of God is spread to the rest of the world. Don't always think that you will be fed from sunrise to sunset. There is time that you are going to be left alone, but it will be seen how much are you going to do it. Are you going to do it exactly as your master told you, or you will do it contrary? So it is upon you. Thank you so much, Deborah, for all what you have done to the people of the world.
Most of the words have been said. Actually, Mr. finished most of the things that we want to appreciate Madam Deborah. The Dinka, we call her the Dinka tune Deborah. The English call her Deborah. So today for us is a very important day, and I must start with the appreciation of the facilitation done by UNMISS and the facilitation of Governor Denai for two of us to come and stay here in Bor to do this function of farewelling. And farewelling, we agreed with David Yawyao that we will not only do the farewelling, we will disseminate the messages of peace. We have to continue preaching peace and peaceful coexistence. And I was reminded yet the other day by the Radi Jamule that after I was relieved, they did interview with me and they asked me what I would do. I told them that one of my functions that I will continue to do is to support the people of Jamule to build lasting peace. And I will do it with others, and I promise them that we are building a peace center, which we will work through that peace center with David Yawyao, Moses Majuk, and other people. So we'll be coming here for the purpose of peace and sensitization of the peace in Jamhuri State, in Greater Jamhuri. Let me start with the United Nations. And in fact, David Yawyao said everything. I will say it in a different way. UN was formed maybe from 1945 to 1949 when the Second World War ended. And those who thought of UN, they have seen that world is always in chaos. And to regulate the chaos or manage the chaos, the UN came into being. And I think it has to take upon itself some powers of the sovereignty, because sovereign states always used to say, this is our internal affairs. Nobody should interfere in the internal affairs of any state. But the internal affairs of any state sometimes become very chaotic. And when it is chaotic, somebody must come, a neighbor, like what David was saying, and facilitate you to sit down and negotiate. So now this United Nations came into international arena, but with a lot of suspiciousness. And when we were fighting the war, all of us were suspicious about the role of the UN. Because the idea that it will be competing with the state or competing with those indigenous organizations has ever been there. But I think organizations are managed by individuals. And this is why the role of individuals, when you do analysis, you start with individual. And then you go to the unit. From the unit, you go to departments, and you go to the rest of the whole of the organization. Because it is that organization that either cooperate or conflict with the affairs of the state. In this case, Jamhuri State as part of the Republic of South Sudan, we have been cooperating cordially with the United Nations Mission in Jonglei. And this is why the word of Ustaza Awul and what was said by all the previous speakers is in place. We have been cooperating together, not only cooperating, trying to do whatever possible to restore our being as a normal society of Jonglei. And in terms of the workshop that were mentioned by Ustaza Awul, Deborah never failed to sacrifice her time to attend all the workshops. I remember there was a day we went to 3 occasions in one day. And I believe that is a commitment. And it is this commitment that I believe it will not be us that have learned a lot from Deborah. I hope the rest of the United Nations Mission in Jonglei must have learned from Madame Deborah, so that they try to do as she was doing. Because as far as we learned, we wanted also the United Nations Mission to copy her enthusiasm, her energy, her devotion to attain all the goal and the problems that we were trying to address. The issues of reconciliation. And I believe she has done a lot. Not only herself, but of course as the head of the mission. The mission have been doing separate activities in Jonglei. For example, one of the activities, they have a veterinary unit. And that veterinary unit had been vaccinating and providing animal drugs. Not everybody knows, but that is a key activity that United Nations Mission in Jonglei has been doing. The other unit is health unit. Though they provide these health facilities whenever they are doing the road toward Juba or toward People, they move with that small clinic. And wherever they are stationed, they will provide health services. These are things that create hopes. Because what war did, war take away hopes and take away the expectation that life will come back. But these small services, as small as they are, they have a lot of impact in the attitudes and feeling of people toward peace. Because these are services that have been robbed away by wars and senseless communal conflict. Now, if somebody come and provide medicine, then that is an indication that if we are peaceful, we will get more than this. Not only that, the UNMISS had created through Korean unit inside the compound a training center that was training life skill activities. Those life skill activities, if they are utilized, they can be agent of change and transformation for all our communities. Because many people have been trained. You have agricultural extension workers, those who can help us how to grow trees, how to grow vegetables, how to grow crops. And those who have been trained how to build houses, how to do carpentry and masonry. Not only that, there were those who were trained in welding. So I believe United Nations Mission in Jonglei has tried to lay down foundation for a post-conflict South Sudan and Jonglei in that matter. But the frustration factor is that every time we want to feel that there is a post-conflict, we are reminded by another disaster. Now the worst is the flood. And as mentioned, United Nations Mission have not failed to intervene. And this emergency, I believe, has been mitigated by the dike that was done across Bo Town. That dike, I believe, have rescued a lot of people, have prevented a lot of people to migrate to Goliar or to Mangala or to Juba by just relocating to other side of the town, which is very great. It's better to be displaced, to be IDP in your home area than in another place where people will be suspicious that you want to rob their land, that you want to stay there forever. So I believe UNMISS have been doing a lot. Plus the visit that they have been conducting to Akobo, to Yai, to People, and to Dukpadiet and Ayur. We have been conducting some meetings that were facilitated by UNMISS and the South Sudan Council of Churches. I believe there are a lot of activities that we are here to appreciate and thank Madam Deborah, because wherever we wanted a support, as mentioned by Brother Javiao, they provided the support, because that is why they were here. They were here to help the government of South Sudan in building peace. It is us who have not risen to the standard of building peace. Otherwise, UNMISS is here in Papua to support our activities. Sometimes they ask us, what do you want to do? And this is the nature of the person that I could agree with those who founded the United Nations Mission. Is there to support nations and the state in building their own peace and restoring previous lives that have been lost. So as mentioned before, Deborah, I believe she will go as an ambassador of the people of Greater Jongole, because when you are in New York, I believe you will be dreaming of Jongole, because whatever the water around, the bad roads, the mosquitoes, the flies, everything that is here, I think will remind you in your life, because human beings also learn through difficulties. I believe if she is given another job by the Secretary General, she will be perfect, because she has undergone very difficult circumstances. She was in Malakal, and you can imagine what happened in Malakal. People fighting, Malakal changing hands between different war factions, and she was there witnessing and hearing all the sound of guns. You see, so she's somebody that should be respected. So congratulations. Those who are traumatized, who have war traumatized, and sometimes I become suspicious, maybe you are a military person. Because even soldiers are traumatized. But when she came from Malakal, you don't observe whether she's somebody coming from that harsh circumstances. When rebels, government forces are chasing themselves inside the town, and sometimes chasing themselves into their compound, into UNMISS compound in Malakal. It's a situation any one of us can be traumatized. You better do the fighting, not seeing it. Because seeing fighting can terrify you. Because when you are doing the fighting, you have the confidence, you have your gun. But if you don't have a gun and somebody is just shooting around, that is not an easy circumstance. So we hope the person that will replace Deborah here in Jabule will learn a lot. And she or he will be reminded all the time. He will be reminded that we used to do this with Deborah. And I hope that person will not take it negatively. He or she must take it positively. Because diplomacy, UN diplomacy, I believe, has shown its good face in Jambule State and in Greater Jambule. In terms of the rest of the services that you have been doing, the one that you should strongly recommend that will have impact on peace is road, and especially road from Bor to Pibor and to Pashara. And then the second one is our project of Gadiang, that Gadiang Peace Village. And the 6 roads that are connecting Gadiang with Buma, with Akobo, with Wat, with Bor, Rumatiang, with Panagur, with Dupayuel and Ayun, those roads are very important. And I believe somebody somewhere will pick them up so that we have a real connection. Our population are in isolation. Now you could see how people are living in rooms. You go to Buma and people, the Murle will be told those in Bor are preparing to come and attack you. And they take it and they prepare themselves. Then you come to Bor, you tell them the Murle are preparing to come and attack you. The same thing in Longway, the Murle are coming to attack you. The Nuer are going to attack the Murle. All this is because of lack of infrastructure. If there are roads, permanent roads, definitely people will be moving. Even sector commander here will be patrolling. And if he is patrolling, people in every village where he will stop over, they will know that there's nothing coming from that direction. But if it is only the birds and wild animals that are moving and people with their legs, everybody will be suspicious. So the issue of the road is very important for our peace and for the relation between our communities. We hope this coming dry season will come back with David Yao and will visit the market of Anyidi. We come back and visit the market of Anyidi and people will be continuing living in peace. Dukpadiet, that was almost the center between Law, Gawer and Dinka. We're waiting for the Murle to join. And the only place where we can join is Gadiang, where you can bring people from Likwangole, from Akobo, from Wat, from Ayun, from Twitch, and from Jale, and let them join in Gadiang. Now the people of southern part of Bor and Gumruk should have a place in Anyidi and Manyabol. But without road, you cannot do that. We would like to support Governor Deny because this is a work that cannot be done by one person. We will not say we will wait until you have a position. It's enough. If you know the problem and you know the solution, you can go to the person sitting in the office. And this is how the sheep have been doing. The sheep, in the evening, they sit with their people and they are told there is a problem like this. Then tomorrow, we will act. So all of us, as people of Jamule, we must collaborate to solve our issues. We will not wait for the government in Juba to come. We have to start doing something. And if we start doing something, I believe the women and the youth are already ready. So women, let us this time try to do something. And if you have any plan to meet with the women of Buma State, don't hesitate to contact UNMISS. We, myself and Yaya will be ready to come anytime. The same with the youth. If the youth of Gumuru wanted to meet with the youth of Anyidi, we will be ready to come and facilitate. Until we have the peace conference that is being waited by Vice President Dr. James Wanega, that will be 20th of January. We wanted to keep people engaged so that they don't think of looting, they don't think of revenge, they don't think of counter-revenge. So here, this is the only thing that will make Madam Deborah feel happy in the US. If she hears that peace is coming to Jamule, I think she will have appetite to think of visiting us. But if we will continue killing ourselves, I don't think there is a visitor that will go where people are killing themselves. So let us hope the best thing that will motivate Madam Deborah to do something for us is commit ourselves for peace. Now, I have my own gift that is, bring that aside. Give it to Madam Deborah. I think you have many of them, but you go, if you hold it there, okay. Let me bring it out.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, you will get more from all while you are going. I believe is one of the things that you will be thinking about ball market. I appreciate our brother Mamir Agudong. I think Mamir have been, Deborah used to tell me that Itirako is your secret weapon. But Mamir was a secret weapon also to you. So, because whenever the community has a problem, the Itirako will go quietly and talk with the sheep. Mamir also is doing this between UNMISS and our community. Thank you very much. God bless.
I'm recognizing the two former governors that are here, Philip Aguirre and David Yaya. Thank you for coming. I was honored and I was flattered that you were interested in joining me to say goodbye. And also let me say thank you, go on record and say thank you to the Governor Dinesh Agor for providing the accommodations at Park Palace Hotel. Really, that was very wonderful of him. It shows that he appreciates what you're doing here and that you've come. And let me also recognize everybody else that is here. I won't name it, but we have the organized forces, we have the chiefs, we have the Women's Association, we have everybody here, and also my secretary, Amanda. But I want to say something. I also have a number of my national staff here, and I want to recognize them. I have my mayor, of course, who's from Amidi. I have Dr. Luciano, who's from Malakal. I have William Pan, who's from Pangak. I have Adala. Should I say that should I say you're from Kobo? Kobo. And Peter from Jale. And of course I have Rose, who's Equatorian, and I have Jacqueline, who's from the Equatorians. And who have I missed? And Mach Samuel from Jale. So, what I want to say is that my staff represents South Sudan. And I cannot do my job without my national staff. It's my national staff that makes UNMISS what it is. And it makes us capable of doing our work. So I want to say a special thank you to my national staff and say that the unity of the national staff that we have at UNMISS should be the unity of all the people of South Sudan and the people of Greater Upper Nile. So that's why I wanted to just recognize them especially. And I'm so pleased and flattered by this event. I would have liked this event to be a much larger event. But somehow we're separated. We're separated. UNMISS is on one side, the government is on the other side. There's a river going in between. Civil society everything is separated right now. And I'm hoping with the dry season, the floods will subside, and UNMISS will be able to do some of the road work in Boer Town to facilitate bringing people back together again. Because that's really what this is about, is bringing people together. And throughout my whole tenure, when I arrived in Malakal in November of 2012, and when I arrived in Jonglei in March 2016, what I've been trying to achieve is to bring people together. And that's a promise I have a promise that I made that I have not fulfilled. And the promise was that I wanted to bring the women of Jonglei to Pibor. And we tried, and we had a few times that we were trying to put that together. And what happened was there were floods in Pibor, there was no place to stay, there was always an obstacle. So these are things that I have to come back and do because I don't like unfinished business. Also, the road from Bor to Pibor is unfinished business. That's the road that we started. We made one pass one year, we made another pass the other year. We opened the road. So it was a start. We saw the prices of commodities drop in Pibor. We saw the benefits. People were very happy. We saw the people in Pibor and Boma State coming out of isolation. They started bringing their cattle to Anidi. A cattle market was opened in Anidi. This was very positive. The people in Bor were very pleased. They could go to Anidi and buy cattle at much lower prices than they were previously able to purchase their cattle. It was and people were coming together, and it really was something. It was something wonderful. So this year, I told David Scherer, the special representative of the Secretary General, this year what we need to do is we need to do this road properly. We need to have a real road that's all-weather road, and that we need to have it wide enough for two trucks to pass each other. It needs to be a road that people can use and that will last. So I want this to be, this will be part of my handover note. And who said that? This is part of my handover note. That whatever we do, whatever plans we have, we'll have a road between Bor and Pibor. I think I've convinced the SRSG, David Scherer, that we need this road. And I also think I've convinced our Mission Support Division that we need this road. And I want to see us complete the project because I'm very interested in seeing projects completed. And I want to thank the Paramount Chief, the acting Paramount Chief, that yes, you want us to do this road, we want to bring people out of isolation to do this road. And I want to thank you for saying that we will have access to places where we can find white sand. And what we'll do with those areas, and we should do this on almost all of our roads, is that we'll turn them into basins where the animals can, reservoirs where the livestock can come during the dry season. So let us make this something that's a project that benefits everybody. So I want to say that this is one of my objectives, and this is will be part of my handover to the next person, who will be Isidore, at least for the time being, and he may even be the person that will be selected in a permanent position. So I just want to say Isidore Bouchouet will be here. And then let me just add that nobody can impose peace. Peace has to come from the people. And that's what I'm especially honored with Philip Aguirre and David Yayo coming, because they're really coming here with a purpose. And it shows that you have leaders that care about your people. What they need, that they're here to bring peace, they're here to promote confidence that peace is possible. And this is what's important, and this is what we need more of. And yes, we are here to support you. And I feel that your visit here will support the whole initiative of bringing peace to Jonglei State, to Greater Pibor Administrative Area, even to the defunct Akobo State. So it wasn't about administrative boundaries, but it was about people. And it was about how we could bring people together, because the administrative boundaries will change. And they will change over time, and it's something that needs to be agreed to by the people of Jonglei, the administrative boundaries that you want. But really, this has to be one country based on unity of people and a common purpose and a common vision. And that's what I would wish was happening down. So it's peace, prosperity, and let me also take this opportunity to wish everybody a very happy and peaceful holiday and Merry Christmas. And I would love to come back to South Sudan, but please ensure that this will be a peaceful environment where I can see development and I can see progress and I can say that we planted the seeds for that, working together to build a clear David Yahweh. So thank you very much.